If you've ever used a normal RSI or a basic stochastic, you already know how frustrating it can get. In slow markets, they look fine, but the moment volatility kicks in, those indicators completely lose their meaning. They stay stuck in overbought or oversold while price keeps moving, and you end up entering too early, too late, or right before price runs against you. That's the exact problem this indicator is designed to solve. So I will show you how to work with this indicator and show you an amazing trading strategy using this indicator.
Merry Christmas!
So once you're on TradingView, for this video I'm using GBPUSD on the 5-minute chart because this pair moves fast and overextensions show up clearly, but you can use the same logic on any market or time frame. So you also switch to the 5-minute chart and then click Indicators. Search for Stochastic Z-Score by AlgoAlpha and add it to your chart. What you'll see at the bottom is a smooth oscillator line, not jumpy like normal stochastic. That smoothness comes from whole moving average smoothing, which reacts fast but doesn't shake around in choppy conditions. You'll also notice important zones marked around +2 and +2.5. Think of +2 as the warning zone where momentum is already stretched, and +2.5 as the extreme zone where price is statistically very far from normal. When price reaches those areas, it doesn't mean it must reverse instantly, but it does mean you should stop chasing and start paying attention. Depending on your settings, you might also see a histogram in the background. This histogram shows raw Z-score intensity. You can turn it off for a cleaner chart, but when you're learning, it actually helps you see how strong the pressure is behind the move. Another very important part of this indicator is the long-term momentum filter built using ALMA smoothing. This line acts like a sanity check. It stops you from taking pretty reversal signals that go against the bigger momentum. So even if the oscillator reaches an extreme, if the long-term momentum doesn't agree, the indicator stays quiet. That's why the reversal arrows you see on the chart are not random. A buy arrow only appears when price is stretched on the downside, momentum starts shifting up, and the long-term filter supports that move. Same logic for sell arrows on the upside. Now let's talk about how I actually trade this in a simple way. For a buy setup on GBPUSD 5 minutes, I wait for price to push the oscillator deep into the negative extreme zone, ideally below -2 or even closer to -2.5. That tells me the sell-off is statistically stretched. Then I wait. I do nothing until the oscillator starts turning up from that extreme. Next, I quickly check the long-term ALMA momentum. I want it above 0 or clearly rising, because I don't want to buy against heavy downside pressure. When these conditions align, you'll usually see a buy arrow appear. That arrow is not my entry. It's my warning that something is changing. My actual entry comes from price. I wait for a strong bullish candle to close or a simple bullish engulfing after the arrow. Once that happens, I enter the buy. My stop loss goes just below the recent swing low that formed during the extreme push, and my target is simple: 1-to-1 or 1-to-1.5 risk to reward, or the nearest resistance area. The goal is not to catch a massive trend, just the snapback that usually happens after statistical extremes. If the Z-score barely touches the -2 zone and instantly snaps back, be extra selective. The best buy trades usually come when price spends some time in the extreme, showing real exhaustion, not just a quick dip and bounce.
Do you feel like everyone around you benefits from artificial intelligence, but you have no idea where to start? Don't wait any longer. Start today. Our free trading bot is simple to use, powered by artificial intelligence, and can earn you up to 1% profit every single day. Over 500 members have already joined. Click the link below now to get free access. This is your chance to harness the power of AI and take a step toward a financial boost.
Before I show a sell trade example, let me quickly explain you the settings of this indicator. Open the indicator settings and stay on the Inputs tab. The most important setting is the main length, which defines how much past data is used to decide what is normal price behavior. A shorter length reacts faster but creates more noise, while a longer length is smoother but slower. You want a balanced value that adapts to volatility without constantly shifting, especially on lower time frames. The source setting controls which price data the indicator uses to do its calculations. By default, many indicators use close, meaning they only care about where the candle finishes. When you switch it to something like H plus L plus C divided by 3, you're telling the indicator to use an average of the candle instead of a single point. Then you have the Z-Score levels, usually around +2 and +2.5, and the same on the negative side. The +2 level marks stretched moves, while +2.5 marks rare extremes where exhaustion is more likely. These dynamic levels replace fixed overbought and oversold zones and adapt automatically to volatility. You can also enable or disable the Z-Score histogram, which shows the raw strength of the move under the main line. Keeping it on gives more insight. Turning it off keeps the chart clean. Finally, the long-term ALMA momentum filter helps confirm direction by filtering out reversal signals that go against the broader momentum. Together, these settings help define true extremes while reducing false signals. Now, for a sell setup, everything flips. First of all, I wait for the oscillator to push into the positive extreme zone above +2, ideally closer to +2.5. That tells me price is stretched to the upside. Then I wait for the oscillator to roll over and start falling. I check the long-term ALMA momentum and I want it below 0 or clearly turning down. When that alignment happens, the sell arrow appears. Again, I don't blindly sell on the arrow. I wait for price to confirm, usually with a strong bearish close or bearish engulfing candle. Then I enter the sell trade. Place my stop loss just above the recent swing high and target 1-to-1 or 1-to-1.5 risk to reward or the nearest support level. Also, avoid stacking trades. If you already took a loss on a setup and the market gives another signal immediately after, don't jump back in emotionally. Wait for a fresh structure or a clean reset in the oscillator. Overtrading is one of the fastest ways to give profits back. On GBPJPY, moves are fast, so discipline matters more than prediction. This indicator doesn't promise magic entries or 100% accuracy. What it does is remove guesswork. It tells you when a move is actually extreme for that market, not just visually high or low. When you combine that with patience and simple price confirmation, you avoid chasing and you avoid forcing trades. Always remember, no indicator works alone. No setup wins every time, and risk management is what keeps you in the game. Test this on your own charts, replay it, and only trade what you fully understand. If this breakdown helped you see oscillators in a different way, leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching the video till the end. I'll see you guys in the next video.